Hey guys, welcome to my fabulous world. I'm now in the beautiful city of Geneva. This, of course, Geneva is an international city of multilateralism. You want anything international organization, you'll find it here. But we are at CERN. Any physicist there knows what CERN is about. We're not going to talk about CERN today because I'm here with Kalonji and I want to talk to Kalonji. Kalonji is one of the 3 young people who won an opportunity to come to the GESDA summit. But of course, he's doing a whole lot of things. And so I want to talk about what he submitted to win this competition and also what he's doing. Kalonji, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, Prof. It's a pleasure to be here. And I'll just tell everyone, I'm actually here because of you and your social media presence.
Thank you.
You must learn how not to skip lives in life. Because I stayed in your live when you spoke about the GESDA.
Yes.
That's how I got to find out about GESDA.
Yes.
And that there was a competition. And yes, I'm here.
Okay, that's great. I'm glad. Never skip lives. You didn't skip my lives
I
during the
didn't skip
lockdown.
Exactly. And then it actually carried me. So, moral of the story, don't skip lives. It's very important.
Great. And you are from the DRC?
I'm from the DRC, and then I've been in South Africa for about 10 years. And,
you're doing your PhD?
I'm doing my PhD now, final year. All the stress of submitting a thesis and sending draft, but we keep on pushing.
A PhD in molecular biology?
Molecular biology.
Great.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit. What is molecular biology? Many young people don't know what it is.
Yeah, so molecular biology, it's just one aspect of biology where we focus on the smaller particle, the most important one especially, which is DNA, RNA, and we look at proteins. So we focus on various aspects of that. So that is
you focus on that, so what? So that you do what with it?
Exactly. So to solve many problems. In my case, I'm in the microbiology department of that school. So I look at microbial DNA specifically and microbial protein. Because when you look at the DNA, we see the potential of what this microorganism can do. Then when you look at the protein, you actually get to learn what are they actually doing. And having that knowledge is important because when you identify bad bacteria, you know what they're made of. And when you identify good microbes as well, you know what they're made of to just leverage and solve problems.
Wow, great. That sounds interesting. So tell us, what did you write in your submission to GESDA? What was this problem of today that you wanted to solve using the science of the future?
Yes, so the problem was actually what you did mention earlier yesterday in our session about food security.
Okay.
Because my PhD, I'm studying microbes at a community known as the microbiome.
Okay.
So I'm not looking at just one specific one, but I'm looking at them as the living group.
Okay.
And what I've been able to learn during my PhD is that microbes behave a certain way when they are in a community. And sometimes on the positive side, when they are together and they are accustomed to a community, they want to make that environment better. But there are also cases where they can make an environment worse. So in my research, I'm studying barley, the seed that is used to make alcohol and beer.
Okay.
And what I've been able to notice is that there are certain microbes that actually promote the growth of a plant. There are certain microbes that actually protect bad microorganisms as well. And the nice part about my research as well, I've been spending a lot of time now in front of a computer. Because when I read those DNA and protein, it comes as data that need to be processed. And this is where now in your talk you spoke of, I think, with Professor Vukosi, I think
Vukosi Marivate.
Exactly, from the University of Pretoria.
Yes.
You guys shared about the insights of AI. And I've been doing a lot of algorithm and bioinformatic processing with those data. I've seen how it's like pieces of a puzzle. You can reconstruct a full genetic makeup. And my idea is that what if we start using AI to feed this biological data so we can gain now more insight? But the problem I'm actually solving is that because certain microbes, they promote the growth of a plant, they prevent the presence of pesticide, we can leverage AI to be giving us this information faster.
Okay, good. Does it mean we'll be solving 2 problems in one? The problem of pesticides?
Yes. And also promoting the growth of a plant.
Great. So you basically used the work that you're doing now to think about what you can submit for GESDA.
Exactly, yes.
Great.
exactly, because I'm in the process of submitting for postdoc, and I've been writing a lot of those proposals.
Yeah.
So GESDA just allowed me to think a little bit beyond what I was going to be able to look at, and as soon as I incorporated the AI, it just all came together.
Fantastic. So you talked about this seed.
Yes.
How did you know about this existence of the seed?
The seed. So the seed were actually given to us in our lab, and there's a brewery company. They were having quite some challenges with microbial contamination. And that's how I spent a couple of years studying the barley seed and to see the importance that it has. But the beauty about biological science is that what is happening to one crop could be happening to many crops as well.
Yeah.
As a result, I'm like, we can actually extrapolate this knowledge and make it applicable to solve real problems.
Okay, and you said this is the seed that we use in alcohol.
Yes.
All
yes,
alcohol or
most? Majority of beer is made of barley, so it is quite an economic importance. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. But you're doing a whole lot of other things too.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I always say, when a student is at university, it's like your time to explore, to do stuff that you wouldn't do once you start working or you're at home.
Exactly.
First, you have freedom. Secondly, you've got free Wi-Fi. Thirdly, you've got
Exactly.
free consultants like your professors and other students.
Exactly.
What else are you doing whilst you're studying here?
So while I'm studying, I'm involved into many things. One of it as well, I've been privileged enough to actually get a junior position as a lecturer.
Nice.
So I'm also a lecturer at Edivos, a private institution where I did my BSc.
Yeah.
And I've been involved into curriculum development, lecturing, setting up assessment. So
Nice.
it is such a blessing to have a good taste of the academic life before I'm actually fully mature.
Yeah.
But on top of that as well, as a student,
I wonder if they heard you. Edivos is a private university. It's in South Africa.
Yes, definitely.
Is it owned by the same people who own Crawford or what? Or Edutech?
They own Stellenbosch. I think it's a company that owns Stellenbosch Graduate Institute and the Da Vinci Institute.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Yep.
Yes. So that's what I do, and then on top of that, I'm also involved a lot in media. Surprising as it may sound, I run like a small business that is also, it started as a photography, which was my student job, but now I also do a lot of like social media marketing,
Nice.
and I do produce a few documentary and podcasts as well. So
okay, so I'm gonna give you this to edit.
This is my gig. This is my first gig with you.
So you the social media marketing, you're doing it for other people or for Edivos?
No, for other people, like private clients. Yes, I think one of my biggest clients has been vets. I shot for my department. I shot the Vet 100 documentary.
Nice.
So that was actually.
How did they know
project.
that you're doing this?
I told them. I'm one of those. I take my chance and I shoot my shots.
Yeah.
So I told them that this is what I can offer.
Yeah.
Because every time I see something, I always think, how can we improve it? How can we make it better? Yeah.
You've got nothing to lose. You shoot your shot.
You shoot your shot.
If they say no, that's fine.
You
Next.
just come back to where you are.
Exactly.
That's what I do. But I've seen how it has actually helped me a lot. To be exposed to different fields, and there are many people that I would have never had access to them. But because of what I do on the side as well, I was able to listen. You listen to a lot of conversation when you're behind the camera as well, and it gets you thinking as well.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, it's like it's not related at all to microbiology.
Exactly.
Or, but there you are. You're doing
exactly. Then you do.
And the production. Who do you do it for?
So the production, I also do a lot for private clients. So I have a lot of people that will contact me when they have a podcast.
Wow.
Then I do sound, and I do a lot of music editing and all of that. So I create all of that as well. All of these were just self-taught when I was, in my undergrad. I chose to use my free time to learn more skills. Yeah. To make me valuable and to just add value.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And how did you hear about Edivos when you were back home? Because your undergraduate degree, you did it at Edivos.
Edivos, yes, in biomedicine.
Yeah.
Back then they had when I finished my high school back then, my parents had a crazy idea that I needed to study in another language because English is not my first language.
Yes.
Because
By the way, you sound and look South African.
I mean, that's what I love about it. That's what I really love about it.
There's no touch of French at all.
Right? It's crazy. So I think it also speaks about the power of education.
Yes.
Because I'm grateful that I was brought up in a household where they valued education a lot, and I was taught from a very young age to learn a lot. My grandmother was a teacher, and before breakfast she would make us read, and I hated that, but it was a blessing in disguise. So to cut the story short, they wanted me to learn in a different language because they understood that English was broad. And E26 at the time, it was known as Midrand Graduate Institute. They used to travel in African countries to advertise, and that's how I embarked on this journey. And I think I got to South Africa. I was like 19 or 20 years old. I had zero knowledge of English. And
And did you have to take an English course before you start studying?
Yes, I took for like a couple of months, but it was not enough, especially for science. That was a problem.
Yes.
My first 2 years in varsity, I'll translate my notes in French, study, then make notes in English again. And I used to have this thing that I'll say every time the lecturer is saying something I don't understand, I'll be like, I'm on voicemail. These days it doesn't happen anymore, but I used to be on voicemail most.
And when you say voicemail, what, you would record it, or you would have...
I have to record it because I can't get them.
So that you can figure it out
so
afterwards.
I can figure it out, and then slow it down.
And here you are, you made it.
Right, it's crazy. It's really,
that's amazing. But thank you so much. And the E26 job is a contract. Is it part-time?
Yes, it's a contract. Yes, it is a contract.
Did they recruit you, by the way?
Yes.
Or you again went to them and shoot your shot?
So what exactly happened is that one lecturer was probably like on maternity leave, and they just wanted someone to step in for a while. While the lecturer was on maternity leave or sick leave. And I think I was just supposed to mark and show up for one class. But after that, I'm just like, don't you guys have something else? And then I also stayed because I was actually thinking ahead. I'm like, if I want to stay in academia, this will be a good opportunity for me to get a taste.
And it's good for your CV, for experience.
Exactly, it's good for your CV. But if there's anything I can also add again is like like I was telling you earlier that I really need to thank you because I've gotten here. Maybe you probably do this a lot like on social media, but it is because of the insight that you've given most of us like many times on your platform, because you have exposed us as well to other people that are fighting the same battles that we're fighting. And I think I told you about the story about the
Rachel.
Which was interesting because at the time, I think it was during lockdown.
Just during lockdown.
And everyone, especially if you've done postgraduate study, you know the challenges, but the power of sharing stories, especially when you do, even the 1st of December, remember, it's usually around that.
Make education fashionable.
You get to read other people's stories, and then we see ourselves in those stories. And sometimes you also realize and you're grateful that my story is not that bad. And you get to push and you keep on keeping on. So it's something that I'll really encourage you to continue, because there's an army of young African that are watching you, rooting for you, but you're also making us stronger. So
thank you
so much.
I have to say thank you to Rachel, Dr. Dangarembezi. She is at the Institute of Neuroscience Institute at UCT. And those of you who follow me would remember her story where she talked about her mom and dad passing on from HIV. They were infected, and she has, I think, 4 siblings, and she hustled. She was studying at VETS, and she had to take them through education, but she managed to finish her PhD in neuroscience. And when she wrote her story, she had just gone back to Zimbabwe, teaching at the University of Zimbabwe, Dololo Research, and I thought a black, capable young woman can come to our Neuroscience Institute and get postdoc opportunity.
Exactly.
And she came, and here's the thing, you get an opportunity, you do your best.
That's true.
Because then when you do your best, people don't want to get rid of you.
Exactly.
Every opportunity they'll say, come, here's a full-time, here's this, here's that, because you do so well. And Rachel is doing amazingly. She's doing amazingly. Last time we talked, you had won a big grant, European grant. And I think at the moment she might even be associate professor. I don't know.
Wow.
But she's doing very well. So it's good that her story inspired you.
Inspired me to continue, because I was also at a point where I was thinking, should I continue with a postgraduate study or not? But I'm glad, because you actually presented to us a different aspect, that education should be fun.
Yes.
Education should be something that we should be proud of. And
enjoy.
And
it's not just for a job.
No.
You can make a difference.
Exactly.
You can do a whole lot of things.
Exactly.
So I'm glad that those stories with other people work for you. But thank you so much for inviting me. I didn't ask you about how you feel about the GESDA conference. We are at the GESDA conference.
Yes.
I didn't even tell people that we are at the GESDA conference. The Geneva Science and Diplomacy Anticipator. We have a summit every year. I'm on the board, but I also run the GESDA Citizens Forum, and that's where I engaged all of you, and that's how Kalonji competed and won and won an opportunity with 2 other people that I'm going to talk to as well. Definitely. So how are you finding the summit?
It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm meeting people that I never thought I'll meet in my life. Yeah. But at the same time, it has opened my mindset. That is one thing for sure. It has really opened my mindset to see what is really out there, and I can't wait to just like take it all in, and when we go back home to continue doing what we do, because if an idea got me here, how much more can I do when I continue thinking and when I continue applying? So absolutely. I'm so grateful to the GESDA, and you're part of it. Thank you so much for giving us a seat at the table. Sometimes it's very important to just be in the room to hear people speak, because we're going to get a little bit more of all those ideas in us as we move forward. Yeah.
And is it your first time in Europe?
It's my third time in Europe. I was actually a few months ago. I was at a conference as well. So and this is a different setting, which is actually really cool, because I'm not just talking to scientists, but diplomats and policymakers.
I was in the other room when I don't know if you were in there, the guy who said he's a member of parliament in Ireland.
Yes.
There's members of parliament, there's a deputy president here, there's all sorts of people, business people.
Exactly. And, I actually blocked a minister of internal affairs, senator of India, trying to speak to the UN envoy. I'm just like, this would have never happened anywhere else. But
never. And they're moving freely, and CEOs and all sorts of people. So it's quite wonderful.
It's enriching.
Yes,
it's enriching.
It is. So thank you so much for talking to me, Kalonji.
Prof. And I look forward to more live sessions and to more of just your presence on social media imparting on us.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm here signing off from the GESDA Summit in Geneva at CERN. Remember, I always say to you, be yourself and do yourself. Sure. There's so much power in that, because you're not trying to mimic anybody. Do your thing. That's what will make you stand out. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.